Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is a preview of the Nikon D3400 DSLR camera. Now, I do have a question right off the bat. Why did we go from the D3300 to the D3400 when Nikon went from the D5300 to the D5500? I sense conspiracy. But maybe not so much as a conspiracy, who really knows. So, let's go over the specs of this camera and I will tell you who it's for and what I think. We have 24.2 megapixel DX sensor, which is the same as what you found in the Nikon D3300 that's sitting right next to me in ruby red. Still has the SD card slot, does 5 frames a second, which 5 frames a second is a nice place to be, especially when a lot of older cameras were only doing 1, 2, 3 frames a second. You get 5 frames a second when you're shooting at 1/250th of a second or more. So 5 frames is nice. You have 11 autofocus points. That's a nice thing to have, especially when you have 3D tracking, because the cameras have gotten so much better that if you want to rely on the camera for the autofocus in complete autofocus, then the 3D tracking will come in handy if that's what you want to use. You have a 3-inch LCD that is not a touchscreen. I don't know why it's not a touchscreen. I'm sure it comes down to cost, but with people wanting to touch everything, I like having a touchscreen on my Nikon D5, and I like having it on any of the cameras that I use, so it doesn't have that. ISO 100 to 25,600, which is a one-stop difference, one-stop better difference than what the Nikon D3300 was doing. So that's something that is different, but almost everything's the same in this camera. But let's get to some video specs. Full HD at 60 frames a second. You get 20 minutes at the highest quality and 29:59 at normal quality. I remember a couple of generations ago with the Nikon D3100, you were only getting something like 10 minutes. So it's gotten a lot better, and to do 1080 at 60 frames a second is a nice little option. So here's what separates the D3400 from the D3300, other than 100, is it has, let me get this right, always on low energy technology Bluetooth. So now you have Bluetooth built in, so that means you can use SnapBridge to take take the photos with your camera and then connect through the Bluetooth, which is always on low energy. Low energy? Yep, low energy. I actually have good energy right now. Through low energy, connect to SnapBridge and transfer your files right to your phone or to other devices that are connected so you can do other things with them. Now, it has a guide mode, which I've personally never used. I hear a little birdie told me that Ken Rockwell helped them build this guide mode, so it only shoots in JPEG. Don't hold me to that. That's probably not true. I actually just made it up, so take it back, rewind it. I didn't actually say it, but I did. Guide mode's pretty good for people just starting out. It's a great little resource to start at until they discover my videos where I help them get out of guide mode and get into manual so they can do whatever they want. Now, before we get into pricing and the rest of my thoughts, Nikon has announced 4 new lenses that nobody's probably going to care too much about because, well, one's an 18-55 with VR, one's an 18-55 without VR, but the technology that has changed is they are AF-P DX lenses. The P stands for Nikon Step Motor Technology, so when you're in live view and doing focusing, you no longer will hear the the searching of the focus. It's supposed to be smoother and more silenter, if that's even a word, and that makes it better. The other lens that they came out with is a 70-300. It's also an AF-P DX. One has VR, one doesn't have VR. That starts at $349.95, which is not bad at all. That's a huge range on your DX camera, something like 105 to 450 millimeters with the 1.5 time crop factor. And other than that, the price, $649.95 for the kit with the 18-55, and the 2-lens kit is $999.95, and that will come with the 18-55 and the 70-300. So look, if you already have a Nikon D3300 like I do right here, you're not going to want to upgrade to the D3400. Your next step in the game is going beyond that, but this is a great starter camera. It's packed full of more. I could probably get better results with a camera like this than I could with my professional Nikon D2H back in the day. With the 24.2 megapixel CMOS sensor, the 11 focusing points, the 5 frames a second, the expanded ISO from 100 to 25,600, this is chock full of great stuff, including the HD video at 60 frames a second and all of the other features like the Bluetooth. That's really the only difference in this camera. Better ISO, the Bluetooth built in instead of having to buy a special dongle, though I do love that word dongle. Does anybody else love that word dongle? Hashtag dongle in the comments if you do like that. But really, guys, this is a starter camera. This is a camera that a lot of people will get as gifts. Now, yes, it's a little expensive at $649 for a gift, but some people do buy that for the holidays for their significant other or their kids, and it's a great place to start to learn photography or videography and grow throughout just getting better. So pretty much that's it, guys. Not much to say about it. It's a basic camera. It's a good place to start. Other than that, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up down below. Don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube. Thumbs up always help, because the more people that thumbs up it, hopefully the more people see it, because I hear it helps with search results. Also, if you haven't signed up for the Fronos Photo email list, just look for this orange box over on my website, put your name, email address in it, hit send it, and I will send you a free guide to capturing motion in low light situations. And the last and final thing, being that I like to do sniffy sniffs, I'll sniff the D3300 and tell you what it smells like the D3400, because, let's see, it smells like these two people I once knew named Pete and Repeat. Because honestly, it does smell like the Nikon D3400 is going to smell, because it's in essence the same damn camera. That's where I'll leave it. What are your comments? Leave them down below so I can see what you guys think about this camera. And that is all. Jared Polin, Fro knows photo.com. See ya.